Right here.
And I'll say this now because it's very obvious. Because it's very obvious who the killer is. The pun for Giselle Brett is Giselle Bullet, aka the kind of bullet that was used to kill John H. Watson in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. 22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court Judicature Defendants Antechamber 5.
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb.
My heart was in my mouth the entire time.
It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat. Your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer.
Forget it. It's terrifying. Get through this. I don't want to see the inside of a courtroom ever again. Unfortunately for you, sir.
Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett. A student from Great Britain, is she?
That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
I might be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Player, you better use them.
Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that?
No, I didn't see anything of it. I was on my way out of the restaurant myself, then, right next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying by the floor. I just bent down and picked it up. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot came from. The waiter ran over to me looking white as a sheet, and he found me some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen.
Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay.
Yes, because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside the dining area.
There
There you go.
There you are.
Wait, question is who is
It
this?
is unknown. There.
I knew it.
Professor Mikotoba.
Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer at this trial.
Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so, is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study to tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend for the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway.
What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stand. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Stop staring at me! Yes. to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see.
I didn't know that before.
Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible.
But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, my bad. Gosh darn it, you make me yawn. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Foul out.
Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once.
But I was about to go eat my Hawaiian rolls.
Time. Let's get back to it, partner.
Yes, sir.
Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before this old fossil know what hit him.
Kazuma?
What?
Thank you. Really.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believe in me, then I'm fairly sure I had already been found guilty by now.
Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dreams of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course.
My money.
'22nd of November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, courtroom number 2. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Professor Rauchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Ugh, sorry.
Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we fought with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Would you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders?
Again, terribly sorry.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing! Nothing of the situation our nature finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I would deny that. I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. By standing here now in the Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
I'm absolutely terrified!
I know. Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system. It exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. A visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Alright, who's voicing her?
I will.
Okay, fine then. Got it.
Yes. Your Excellency! We are not reusing this joke. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Dim.
Tea. Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussion take place without tea.
That true.
No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter for La Carnival. Yes, we all know about you already, male. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? It's England, it's always ladies first.
Wow, why is everyone so flipping over about him? Is that true?
No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I?
Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. No habla inglés? I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
It's so much of a cursive that I can't describe it. Wow, I can't read this. This cursive is so line scribbled.
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She is a visiting research student currently enrolled in UMA University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of a delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was a beautiful as a hummingbird song.
Damn.
As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
Yes, I agree. I really do find it English, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it?
Nor you. You've obviously been paying attention in your English classes now, Ryunosuke. The court begged the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called the Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court had been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says, yes.
This could take some time.
So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
That's something someone shouldn't do.
That is a very British thing to do.
You mean not learn the language you're gonna get?
I don't know a lick of French, and I go to France at least once every year.
Fine, 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 Kicks fan. Ah!
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says, but she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered the escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Just like I'm following special orders to eat this, cookie.
Well now, Leah lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of a crime. Could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of a wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood.
Bye-bye.
Order! Order in the court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify. If you please. kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
Witness testimony. A frightening and sorrowful sight.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Yes!
But the condemning...
No! I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch!
Meanwhile, she's probably laughing at us.
Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard! And look at the Snow White angel! Hold on a second, screen's paused from...
It's fine.
Okay, there we go.
I actually pushed the button.
Screen just paused for me for a sec. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine what words the court is going to believe. We'll believe a white woman!
Yes, and not, ugh. Racism. Yes, wah wah. Like the parents, like wah 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 wah. Ugh.
We will believe female Charlie Brown! You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
Ugh, but he's so annoying.
Of course I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Webb was not involved, so I let her go. Testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere on her person where she could conceal a firearm.
I see plenty. I would think she could almost hide a gun anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is...
I kind of agree with that.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter.
Arrgh, this is ridiculous. Why don't you lift up her dress so I can prove it? That'd be terrible.
Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke.
I wouldn't do that in public. The gun, I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been some other gun there that day.
You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. A frightening and sorrowful sight.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late incredible luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to grieve the professor and began to a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him.
She's out and out and totally unfounded a lie.
Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain.
Whose mask can, go along with her eyes. Amazing.
In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform.
I'm dressed this exact same way, except you got flapping red ribbons. Stop it with Rivali's Gale.
Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as perfection that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you, with your thick skin, must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room.
Only too well, I feel half dead already. In fact, I can see that single inconsistencies make me feel better either. I can press for them. Yes.
The first thing to do is to press her on any stairs that seem even slightly off to you.
Ah, there's the cow.
Hey,
Hey, Kyle.
I'm guessing I came in a little late.
It's fine. We can figure something out. Do that, and an opening will present itself. I promise you.
I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask.
Oh, Cal can be the judge, actually. I feel like they do a good judge voice.
Good judge voice? I don't know how. Okay. I could try that.
Now, or you can just sit here and listen and comment. Yes, I should reveal what's beneath the mask. Alright.
I had arranged to meet for blah 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 blah
Let's
blah.
see, after a while, this is what I would like to press.
Yes!
Yes.
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed it was go over to say hello.
Please do not get angry with me.
No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor.
I'm afraid your words are in vain.
Sorry.
Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyways.
Looks at English.
English in the future! We must all speak English! I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever or only in the presence of a beautiful woman,
I think it's the latter. Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. Finds me willing to unravel her testimony, no matter how insignificant it may be.
Anyway, it would seem that the argument the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part lies with what you said, doesn't it?
Yes, it does tie in. Yes, I still had some coffee to drink.
And the next time you got up after that...
When I finished my coffee and stood up to leave.
Then, not long afterwards, the accused took up a professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. hit him right before my eyes. When we walk away, nothing more to say. She would like to control.
Alright, I'm gonna press him through all information. Because there's
Sure.
because there shouldn't be any penalty for doing that this early on.
There's no penalty for pressing in like at minimum 90% of the situations.
After GBM, in fact, that's really quite a late lunch.
Objection! You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunches are en vogue, isn't that right? No. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in a victims research laboratory, it seems. Though it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would have lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first.
Yes, which includes a medical report that was submitted as evidence earlier.
That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Okay, here you go.
Yes, yes. That all makes perfect sense.
Riveting. Sorry,
I don't know how else to put it, man.
I was just about to say that because I thought the judge would have been interacting more, but well, my memory of exact details of it in this is a bit vague.
It's fine. It's fine.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
I was putting him on the spot to speak.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself. A beef steak.
Yes!
Damn it! I have food in my mouth. He was unable to eat, you say?
Unlike your blue.
That's because he did just tooth removed at Hotel Clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're actually supposed to check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment.
So that would mean that was used. Isn't that right, Miss Barrett?
That's
What?
right, yeah. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying event.
Exactly
Did I
as
see
it-
something wrong? Hold up. Can I look at that piece of steak again?
Uh-huh. So bring up the record E.
Yep. I know exactly what to do.
That... Those are some interesting cuts.
Indeed.
That's not how you cut a steak. Oh, whatever.
I mean, there's also this.
Brett doesn't use a knife when eating her steaks.
Yeah, eat it.
Wait a second.
Just take big old chomps. That's the proper British way.
It just caught my eye, like, immediately. Who eats steak like that?
Englishmen.
Englishmen, I guess.
Apparently a surprising amount. Because I just learned from watching a stream earlier that a streamer I know personally actually would eat steak that way. They don't use a knife. Dear me, what a harrowing experience.
Interesting. Parker said he can have them play the witnesses. And just as long as they're okay and not just on the spot. You don't mean I don't use a knife?
Yeah.
Like, don't.
Yeah, I'd also be fine with letting Kao also voice Hosonaga since I'd be doing Alchi and Kazuma anyway.
Okay.
As long as he's fine with it,
I've
don't
never
push him on
put
the
this
spot.
in land on the far side of the world and be abroad in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible light. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. So,
Yeah.
Cal, do you feel like
Oh.
hurting him?
Oh,
On
sure.
the-
That's right. Other than some carbonated water.
I was gonna say, don't force him to do it. If we just go with just the two of us,
I wasn't catching on. I don't know. I do not know names around here. I haven't played this game.
Yeah, that was understandable. I should have worked you in. I'm sorry.
Yes, you literally like, oi, you, I'm drafting you. I want you.
I'm always up for voice acting. It always adds to the story.
Very well. Just as long as you're okay with it and we're not roping you into it.
Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water.
Okay, Parker has stated that they do not use a knife while eating steak. Savage.
So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
Alright, then there should be 2 cups. Also, being a savage is fine. Such savages! Now,
Such savages.
each raised a glass of carbonated water.
What do you think, Ryunosuke, about Winston's last statement?
It's very meaningful. Nope, wrong one. How many cups do you see?
I see
What?
a bottle. Does that count as a cup?
No.
One!
I am wondering what does it matter? Okay, one of the cups is missing. Whoop-de-doo.
This is a crime scene, young sir. It's very
see.
meaningful.
The question lies with why is the cup missing?
Oh, okay.
That last statement of yours, Miss Rhett, has been found bearing on this case. As in, one simple thing.
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well. Miss Brett? Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said.
Oh, fucking shit.
That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one.
Which one?
The significance will be apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke.
Ah.
I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water.
Now, time to present.
And now,
I'd like to present.
yes!
That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's just to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That was exactly as it was left.
Mm-hmm. That is correct, the lady says.
Well, it's odd. Very, very odd.
Dear me, What's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ugh.
Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us she and her professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking of a miniature?
Yes.
What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make of the top of the case?
Objection!
Miniature, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence?
Of course not! I would never do something so reckless. Man, I'm getting my voices mixed up.
But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. It's fine. Voice acting is difficult. Or are you trying to tell me that you don't think it was only 1?
It's fine. Trying to do variety is difficult.
You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
You moved. Aww.
Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table.
What?
It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been here at all, she's saying.
Why? That is so sus.
Yes.
Good gracious!
Sorry. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of dismay?
That's absurd.
Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
I mean, who else could have shot him from the back? No. This can't be put down to mischief.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene.
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
Oh, gimme.
Handbag, you say?
Something to carry items in, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by a well-to-do woman in England.
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that the glass has absolutely no bearing on the case.
Are you so insistent on that? Also, what does that Japanese logo mean?
This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
I have said stop rushing the court.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass.
Alright, autosave.
I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel, for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
You're right. Glass in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance, then it's the handbag. The handbag can conceal a gun. Or two, in fact. Wait,
Oh, why stop there? Maybe she's a gun maniac. Maybe she's secretly an American enthusiast.
wait. So you're telling me she's the latest DLC character for that, open world gun shootout game? Damn!
That's pretty cool.
Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up, little lawyer boy. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But, what she forgot to mention was her handbag. Ah. Which would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
Oh, you're right.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gun job was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we could deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting.
Inspector Hazunaga,
Yes?
did you, or did you not, search Miss Giselle's Brett's handbag on the day of the murder?
No, sir, I did not.
As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hiding in Brett's handbag.
Oh,
Order! Order! Order!
what is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Archie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, don't you have to endure these uncomfortable accusations? Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask.
Show me Lady
Is that
Noir. You think so, Kazuma? Do you think that her persona is a geese? A goose? A swan? Oh!
Ahem.
Are you alright, sir?
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary.
Unnecessary in what way?
I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print.
Oh!
This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting.
Oh.
As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
And more.
Well, I never! You can see right through to what's inside! That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious.
Ah!
As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilty. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruto-san.
Ah!
Order! Order! Inspector Sonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency.
Alright, the photographic of the handbag had been entered in the court record. Photograph of handbag. A photograph taken by Hosonaga-san after the incident occurred. It shows Miss Brett's handbag on the chair by the victim's table.
I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel.
Alright then.
Counsel? The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Hold on a sec. Okay. Indeed, and there's only one logical solution. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma?
I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of our witness is over, there's no way to push the trial to continue.
What? You mean it...
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weaker meat while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. In fact, you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. I'm really gonna be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit. And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance of turning this trial around?
You heard the judge. Nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue.
Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time, after all. That smug little...
Let's go.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Having considered all the evidence placed before me, I hereby...
Excellency,
Ryunosuke?
I don't think you can rule in this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurish nature is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of a courtroom.
Yes!
Yes, Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As a photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means, if there's a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, the ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke.
I understand your objection, Counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
My thoughts, exactly. Really, the prosecution are becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. Some of this photograph just doesn't seem right. Only I can put my finger on it.
Very well. I'll grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect.
Oh God.
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded.
That one. Wait, which one is it? Right there. Alright, press R.
Yes!
Yes.
This. Here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. You say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly, that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Exactly.
Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right.
Ah,
Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it was when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you?
tell me simple.
In any case, we have no idea what the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Yachi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Ah,
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. she would like to know, she may be excused from the stand now.
Ah, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give its final ruling anyway.
I saw that.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe its bird does have something to do with the case?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. I don't know if I keep pushing, then it's all over. I was thinking, I should keep digging and digging, in the hope I might uncover something useful.
Yes, you're right.
I am.
We can just link that burnt. We might be able to pry this shutting door back open again.
Ah,
Just give up, Council. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
but if we had
But if
evidence...
evidence,
Oh, sorry, that's fine.
evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it?
I would? Yes.
To tell the truth, I had noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brent's face.
Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial.
What do we have here? And if we look over here, there's nothing there because it's not visible.
Yes!
Yes!
What's this, Counsel? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brent.
I will fucking murder you.
Do as you might. You see, it's very visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have this unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reasoning is recorded here forevermore.
What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see what plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Yes!
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate? Oh!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate, burning so plate like it's on fire. Fire! I'm fine. I would guess it's some kind of trademark of Le Carnival.
Ah.
This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ryunosuke, you genius.
You're spot on.
Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened with the question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened to a related time.
Well,
Objection!
Objection? Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim.
thanks.
Why? The outline of a burn is clearly discernible. Which such serious injury would have had to cause quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga?
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster. Certainly.
But
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure.
Can you be more specific, Inspector?
Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain, though. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter.
Yes!
There you have it.
Blue. Blue, could you just check how long have we been going?
We've been going for 3 hours and 42 minutes.
Wow, this is definitely exceeding the expected time.
Well, we have.
Anyway,
Well, we didn't start right away. We started like 5 minutes, 8 minutes in. So,
I mean, as
yeah.
long as you have the time.
it'll be fine. I'm still wide awake. It's just that we still have a good chunk left.
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burns themselves with a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would be screaming in pain. There's no question of that.
And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day, or any day before it.
That's right. Strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
What are you suggesting?
Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like the 3 seconds that day,
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Achi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think?
Can it really be true? I never tried to arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of makes sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it is only possible if the man was already dead.
Alright.
Dead?
Oh, shit.
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's no!
Oof, Sigalander and his yikes.
Order, please! Counsel,
Hey,
explain this
hey,
absurd
hey,
notion
hey.
at once.
It took me a second to notice it. I was checking the time. It's 20 past midnight. Cut me some slack.
Get a midnight snack, I don't know. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by a rookie student. But clearly has no grasp of the facts.
Oh.
Objection!
Oh.
No, Prosecutor Archie. It is you who has no grasp of the fact. I beg your pardon. As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events.
Yes. A twist, a twisting, twist.
I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett.
What was that?
I am sorry to say, Miss Brett.
This is definitely the most convoluted case one in Ace Attorney.
That you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
Your Excellency!
Justice system in our country may be in infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. What was that smile?
I'm going to murder you in your sleep. Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Miss Pratt, do you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter till now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world.
Screw you.
As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Something wrong about with the trust. Oh, good. See, even he's sweating about it.
But it seems that men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of the English gentleman. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, you have the epitome of a true English gentleman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so greatly affect us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson.
So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke.
Is this gonna take another hour?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have no idea where the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the person I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there was some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Well, you're just giving yourself away with that.
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
Easy does it.
I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongues. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
I'm going to strangle you, woman. And that swan up on your hat.
Not at all, not at all. It just delights me to hear you speak, dear lady. It seems very clear from your testimony that this more shock of a victim's bone is utterly irrelevant.
Man sounds like he's on the verge of tears.
Why wouldn't he be? I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Thanks. Is that a prayer then?
Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much.
I'm sweating my face off, but I don't give a crap. I'll tear apart.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial.
You sure about that?
If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
Alright then. I punched myself to make things right. Very well. Yes, Your Excellency.
Self-pain.
Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Self-pain what?
Self-pain is always the answer.
Yes, especially with Basio Legion. All my friends are dead.
Excuse me, that is very much deaths of other people.
Fortunately, I have no idea when that man...
I have no idea why the man burnt his wrist like that.
I will not press for that.
On the way to blah 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 racism.
Unfortunately, I have no evidence yet that I can show you, but... What
But
do-
you can press.
Very true, very true. Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. And now the police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased. There can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation.
There would be physical traces of all those causes of death. True. Maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor lost his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
No, that's true.
Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace.
We need some evidence to back us up here.
Yes, evidence. Fortunately, I don't have any evidence of that.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of a great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. It doesn't even occur to you naive detectives to try to preserve a crime scene.
I want to press it.
But I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? King of love, this lady is formidable and she's beautiful.
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Pasquale's starting to see sense.
I very much doubt that.
Still, there's something about what Miss Britt just said. The moment before, when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think?
What do you think, Jay?
I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information.
Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over.
That would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue, someone to help us find a chink in our armor. Kazuma?
What, Ryunosuke?
There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me.
Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett?
Actually, no. The fact that I can't ask other witnesses yet.
Oh, well, you're just in luck, my friend.
Hmm?
About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. Give me the tutorial, my friend.
A detective?
Yes, he seems to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might be present an opening, maybe.
Alright, I have an idea. I will instill in you the ancient technique of looking to the right.
If you think so, but instead of targeting
But
the
this-
woman in it.
Instead of targeting the woman herself. Let's see what we can get out of a great detective.
Alright, I wonder what Kazuma's thinking.
How kind of you.
I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Brett on her last statement again.
Blah 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 racism.
Yes!
Racism. Inferior? What do you mean by that?
It's just playing again.
Alright.
Blah 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 blah. This man is going to have a coughing fit right next to me. Please keep his coughing away from me. I do not want to catch COVID.
Alright, now... Yes! There it is again! The detective react is just the same as before. Why?
Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. With this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. And this could be a golden opportunity.
What do you mean?
When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down.
You're right, look at him, he's lost his own thoughts. I can see them floating!
It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought.
Sorry. Pursue.
I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with that witness marker.
What marker?
Okay.
At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who the person actually making the statement. But by moving the marker left and right with A and O, I'm assuming the other one was A and D.
Yes, A and D.
You can turn your attention. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. You can catch that person at just the right time. You might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people of the stand, take a good look around.
Alrighty then, I'm gonna go do that. And pursue! Here we go!
Blah 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 blah. Oh, this man's going to start coughing again.
Alright. There we go. I want to pursue that.
Excuse me!
Excuse me!
Excuse me.
Ugh, you alright? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. Really was lost in his thoughts deeply. Lost in thoughts all alone, I see.
It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say.
Is there something you'd like to say? Please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination will be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works?
Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness.
Ah! Yes! Not to mention the fact that he's immediately involved in the case. Oh, he's not here, I bet.
Yes?
Oh,
You have
sorry,
someone to
sorry. Oh goodness. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Ugh.
It's...
Well, yeah, if you don't mind. I'd like to speak.
Don't you fucking say anything.
The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless.
What do you really mean by that?
I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I am not ashamed of what I've done.
Nice smile. Ow. A crime scene thief?
Well, it looks as if the lady's remarks touched a nerve there.
Take this, for example.
Fuck off.
Is that...
This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes, and less in the bottle. I can see it.
One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. I can't say I condone what the witness's actions.
From tuberculosis beforehand.
No, sorry.
I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence.
Hey! Carbonated water bottle. This carbonated water the victim and Miss Brett shared on the day of the murder, it was on the victim's table.
Miss Brett.
Before that, give me a moment. Bye! I can't find anything else, thanks. Alrighty then. Ah. It was written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. You know what it says, Kazuma?
I think it's French. This must be very expensive water.
Hey, that's what I was asking.
Then go to France and ask.
You could just say that you don't know. Wait, what? Oh. Damn. Something else?
Yeah, I think it...
I don't think there's anything right now. Well, unless there's stuff on the back.
Just like that.
So this carbonated with, is the last drink, he ever had.
It looks like there's a little left in the bottle. Although it's just plain water now.
No, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. All just said to keep me going.
No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence.
Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we?
You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. In more ways than one.
I wonder, could there be anything in this water?
What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden.
I think I might just have worked something out. An interesting possibility. Well, everything's all... Oh, wow, there is actually stuff in it. Damn. Alright then, cool. I've done my...
Imagine you just blindly turn the bottle upside down and the water falls out. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drink on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question.
Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Ahem.
Alright then.
Unfortunately, I have no idea where the poor man burned his wrist like that. Blah 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 blah.
Written here in the paperwork, the fatal hemorrhage from the ballistic trauma. Yes.
Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. As there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter.
Yes, that's true. Let it cool down. If it would have cooled down even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that.
The victim's burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it brought this from the kitchen. They must have already been dead at that point.
Objection! And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Achi is right.
Ah. Okay, now we're gonna crash.
Maybe present the bottle here?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that.
Yes!
Yes!
What is this? The bottle of water?
Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace behind that comes to mind.
He's going to say it, isn't he?
Also referring to poison.
Oh, he fucking said it. Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside?
Uh-huh.
Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass?
Order! Order! Order!
And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor was able to hit the poison into his drink? Only one person who could have done it. Silverette, but it was you.
Objection!
Outrageous! There's just such a thing without a scrap of evidence! You little rookie imbecile! Have you even considered the delicate situation our company finds itself in now? Our country? Have you forgotten that we only just signed a code of friendship with the British Empire?
If she did this and that sells their thing on a foreign soil.
Yes, but it's different because they're British! Have you even the faintest inkling that your rash accusation could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Which is finding out the
Objection!
truth of a crime.
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What?
He has the right of it. This ain't political.
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We're here to determine the truth. If I may? I will silence you forever! Shut up! It is you who should be silent!
I love this shut up. Oh, I love that line.
Of course! Dear lady!
Where did that come from? She just snapped.
I'm afraid I must have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigate this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector? And whether it contained poison or not?
Of course.
You did?
Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time.
I don't believe it.
Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency.
What? Are you sure?
The tests were meticulously carried out by the Chief Coroner himself.
No!
I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady. The pleasure was all ours.
This isn't Chick-fil-A! I was so sure.
This can't be right. It be picked false to place. It be but poisoned.
We sure checked all the glasses?
Thank you, Consul. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit.
I'm done for.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconveniences this caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to the courts at this point?
Louis? Zuma?
I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Ah?
Please, wait.
Ah?
What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Dosato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Mikotoba? My darkest hour was nowhere left to go. She appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Well then. It looks to be-
Continue.
Of course. I should mark that this is the end of this little statement. That I should say end of part 2. Also, shouldn't someone go to bed?
I'm fine, I can still keep going.
Very well.
What, you want to finish this case?
Yes, we're finishing
Yeah.
one case.
I see. That. Alright.
Yeah, This is by far the longest. This is by far the longest case in the entirety of Ace Attorney. Mostly because it